Hello, welcome to DNKS Legacy Productions. This is a short introduction on what today's video is about. It is a look at different ways you can do things with different systems, different pieces of equipment combined together. We're in the studio today, and you can see the system that we use for remote productions, and you'll see some of our other systems in this video and how we do things. It's a progression of different things we've done over the years with different productions and different pieces of equipment. We go from we use things like the ATEM Mini Pro. It's in the case. We've also used the ATEM television studio and a variety of different cameras. So this is just to give you an idea of what you can do, how you can do it, and I hope it encourages some people that's starting out. You'll see in one of these videos we started out in our church, we started our church out with a single camera, and it grew from there. So now we have a full system down in the church, and it's working out pretty good. And you'll see some of that. You'll see some of the things we do at the church and other places and how we do our productions. So if you like this video, give it a like, give it a thumbs up. I hope you enjoy, and thanks for spending some of your time with us, and enjoy the video. See ya. Okay, I'm doing some work down at the church. We do improvements as we can, a little bit at a time. That I just finished winding up the SDI cable that's going to go out into the church. I did that so we can put a camera out in the church. There's some things we're going to be doing coming up here soon. I also mounted on the bottom the converters, the HDMI SDI converters on the bottom on a metal tray. So I took them. If you've watched any of the videos before, they used to sit up here on the desk in the way, but now this is a more permanent solution for that system. This is basically the same system I use for my my mobile studio, the Blackmagic ATEM Mini Pro that I put in a box. Those converters and the Blackmagic ATEM Mini and the screen for that Blackmagic ATEM Mini is all in a box. So that converter, the screen went off because I didn't log in. That converter, that box is not necessary. I built that box for things that I do that aren't for the church. I own a media company, and we record and stream live events for different people for different things, different events, and that allows me to get in and get out faster that way and have the flexibility of SDI. I built another studio as well, a mobile studio, before I got the HDMI, or not the HDMI, the ATEM Mini, and I wanted to find a way to make that as functional. But this is our system we have. I just wound up that cable, the cable beside it that's wound up on the floor. That's going to drop through the floor and down on the floor. We're going to put a plug-in jack. I have the boxes. The box, and it has the cap on it, so when it's not in use, it can protect the connector. It's just a pass-through connector that will go in the box. And so when we get everything set up, we'll take that downstairs, plug it in, and run it to wherever we need in the church. Right now we're just throwing the cord over and running it to wherever we need in the church, but that's not a permanent solution. So this was just a quick video on our setup. I probably will eventually do some more cable management, but I'm not really worried about the cables. They're out of the way and they're not causing a problem. I have them out of the way so they're not in the path. So maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't. Alright, thanks for watching. See ya. If I need to use the keyboard, I can pull it down right in front of me, but it's sitting right there on top of the laptop. Laptop is closed, but as you can see, the monitors still work. You can close the laptop and have monitors hooked up to it. I have the 2 monitors hooked up to it. Let me zoom this back out so you can see that shot again. Wrong way. But I have the 2 monitors hooked up to the laptop. So that's not a problem. And let's do this real quick before we leave. Because I have this camera on wheels, so moving it is not really a problem. And there's the whole setup. See, I have the multi-view off to my right. I have my 2 monitors in front of me. The multi-view, that is the monitor for this. And they're both, it looks like they're both on it's on the same thing, but you can see when this controls, I leave it on that camera. But this controls what's in the preview, and it also controls what camera I'm on. And you can see it switching back and forth, and this is all the preview. This is the preview, and cut is more important for when you're out in the field and you're trying to get you're trying to set up a shot with your cameraman. You're communicating with the cameraman over an intercom system, and you're setting up a shot, and then you let them know that they're getting ready to go live, and then you take the shot live. So like right now, if you can see that, all you can see in this camera right here is you can't really see me. All you can see, so I would tell the cameraman to fix that shot, or I can see when that shot is fixed. I can see when my face is in the camera, and then I could switch to it. So we have to bring the sound in over the speaker wire, which goes into the mixer here, which goes into the camera here. And let me turn everything on. Let's turn the cameras on. Uh-oh, that's a little loose. Fix that. And then this camera. And now we have all 3 cameras on. And the next thing to do is turn on the computer. Log in. And then double click on vMix. And then it'll bring up all the settings for our church. And that's pretty much it. We use the Black Magic switcher, which that monitor shows. This is a single camera setup for doing a recording at St. Martin de Porres Catholic Church. This is the camera and sound equipment that we use. You're not recording right now, but this is the camera. And that's pretty much the view from here. We have, for sound, we tapped in to one of the speaker lines, and it feeds into the attenuator, which reduces the power of the signal down so that the microphones won't blow out. Without that, we basically wouldn't get anything but static. And it goes in and feeds the Zoom H6, which is how I actually control the sound coming in. And then that comes out of the Zoom and into the camera, and that's how we get our sound. We had a lot of problems with the sound because of the fact that we had to go through basically this PA system, not the PA system, but the speaker system instead of off the board, because as you can see, there's quite a distance to the main board, which is all the way over there. So it was kind of hard to actually get sound from the main board up here to the camera. So we had to figure out a solution to do that, and after some research, I found out the best way to do that was through the attenuator, so that it would drop the sound, the signal, the strength of the signal coming off the speaker wire, so that it can go into the camera. And the Zoom has better amplifiers and audio performance for picking up and controlling the sound, so then that just feeds the camera. And then there are some actual adjustments that we make on the camera, and I monitor what's going on in the camera and what the camera is picking up with a pair of noise reducing headphones.
Thus says the move up. I'm talking in the world, like uh, different jobs, positions. I think you have to have something between your ears. It's like that. He's an electrician, air conditioning guy. Then he became supervisor at maintenance at Hammond. He's been there maybe about 40 years, I'd say. He lives out in Oregon.
Okay, as I said, this is, we do a variety of things. And this is another system that we use. I use it with my laptop. We record things for court proceedings, like depositions and things like that. This has things that we use for that. This is just all kinds of different little audio cables for whatever we have to hook up. We, because of the COVID-19, I take disinfectant wipes with me. I also have disinfectant spray. I use all of that to make sure I clean off my equipment. And then on this side, I just have some towels so that when one side leaves the building, I don't have anything, I don't bring anything with me. Because a lot of time, most of the time, if not all the time, once I set everything up, I have to leave the room and let it record, and or basically I'm just not allowed in the room. That's just an extension cord. I'm not allowed in the room because I'm not part of the proceedings. So in here we have a couple of different ways to hook everything up. These are just cables for connection. SDI, not SDI. I'm so used to saying SDI because I prefer SDI, but HDMI and USB cables, because for this type of recording, that's pretty much all we need. And I have all kinds of adapters for the cables. I just use a little Logitech webcam, which is good enough for what I have to do, because basically we're setting up remote locations so that because of COVID-19, a lot of depositions are done online now. So I have a tripod so they can move the camera around and get closer to the person testifying, or whatever they need to do, if they're to get a good picture and good sound. I also have another setup where I can use the capture card with the HDMI and USB and a little camcorder, and have a mount for that as well. And I can set that up as well. It all depends on the venue and what they want, how good they want the picture to look, and the sound. This guy's a better picture and gives you a little better sound. That is just a webcam, but this is basically the system that you need to make people be able to do mobile depositions or video conferencing depositions, so that this gives people the ability to be across country. And just like everybody's experiencing nowadays, it not necessarily work from home, but a lot of stuff is done online now, and that's one of the things that we do. We set up systems for that. I put this together so that I can be safe and do the job that I need to do. And like I said, everything gets wiped down before I leave the building. Actually, everything gets wiped down when I come in, because I don't know. Well, It all depends. The last place I went, they wiped everything down in front of me with disinfectant wipes when I walked into the building, and I set up all of my equipment. When the attorney got there, I made sure they had the connection with the attorney on the other line, and when the attorney on my end got there, um, I left the room. And then when I came back, I sprayed everything down, including my laptop, and wiped everything down and packed it away. I even sprayed the bags because I'm not trying to get the COVID. All right, but that's just one of the things we do and how we do it. One last thing I want to mention is that we do carry our own network with us. These are both routers, mini routers that we use so that even if there is no network connection, because the ATEM controls work off of Ethernet and they work off of a network connection. So we do carry miniature routers. This one will also gives us a wired connection, as you see here in the back, and it also gives us a wireless connection. I don't like using wireless. That was just an added feature. But there's also a switch inside the box that connects everything. So all I have to do is connect the one wire into the computer, and then one wire goes into, if the venue has a network, it will go through the network, and it will pass through. It is set up so that it will get to the internet, but we are still on a completely separate network for all of my equipment and for production needs that we have. So this allows us to access the internet through their internet connection if they have one, and also keep us separate so that they don't mess with the bandwidth that we need to do what we have to do. This one is and you see the bars, the step up bars like on your cell phone. This one is a cellular connection. It also, I connect this into the back of the either the Mobile Studio 1 or Mobile Studio 2, and it is a router. It gives us the network connections that we need to run all the equipment, and it will also, if the venue has no internet connection, it will also give us a cellular connection. There is no Wi-Fi with this. This is a cellular connected device, but it will give us access to the internet. And like I said, I don't like using Wi-Fi, so I didn't even want it to do Wi-Fi because it's not dependable enough for any of the stuff that we do. I like using the hardwired for all of our equipment. So we have even in the mobile studio with the ATEM Mini Pro, there is actually a switch, Ethernet switch in that box, and there's an Ethernet switch in the larger mobile studio. So there's Ethernet switches in both boxes, and I keep the routers on the outside of the box because, one, if I do use Wi-Fi on this, it's easier to get a signal. I prefer not to, but you never know if it's hooked up and we want to get it. I'd rather have it up high where and then just run a wire to the box. This one, I can put it in the best location to get a cellular signal, and that works better. That's why it's not in the box. So we do have our own closed network where for our equipment wherever we go. All right, thanks. That's it for this section.